Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you again with another 10 Car Tuesday episode. This time we're going to take a look at 10 Greenlight cars, and I've got some pretty cool stuff to take a peek at. We're going to start with this right here, this 1967 Chevy Camaro, Mr. Bardall, Greenlight hobby exclusive, and it looks pretty cool. I love the color scheme of it, was pretty awesome. That's why I decided to get it. So this just came out a few months ago, 2019, end of 2019, and is pretty sweet. So let's go ahead and open it up. Of course, they pre-cut all the packaging on the stuff so that you didn't have to suffer through that. Let's go ahead and take a peek at it. Really nice model. I do like their casting of the 67 Camaro. I think they do a good job of it. It's pretty nice. Let's get a look at all the details on here. Mr. Bardall, friendly Chevrolet. Pretty cool. Front end looks pretty cool. Definitely a nice version of this particular casting. The hood opens. See the motor in there. Pretty cool. Plastic bumpers. Of course, metal body, metal base. Definitely a cool version of this. And number 498. Tooling number is 104. Interesting, no letter tires on the front, just on the back. Cool. So there's car number 1 of today. Car number 2 we'll take a look at will be this 2017 Dodge Charger Daytona Hemi Pennzoil, which is also a hobby exclusive. Pretty cool. It's got Pennzoil on it, but the reason why I got it because it didn't have Pennzoil actually on the, like, printed on the body of the car, so that's why it was acceptable for me to pick it up. And I don't think I had like a regular version of this car. I think the only version I had was a police version, if I recall correctly, in my collection. And now I've got this one here in yellow and black. It looks pretty good. This one does have an inserted tail light, it appears, or is that painted? No, that is inserted, and then an inserted like grill piece, which makes up like the headlight. This one also has an opening hood to reveal the motor. Looks pretty decent. Not a bad tooling, not my favorite, but not terrible. This one is 2214. Copyright date on the tooling is 2016, and its GL101 is the tooling number. Looks pretty good. There's that one. Let's see here, car number. Let's do this one real quick. Jeep Wrangler 2012 Bully Dog. This is another hobby exclusive model. Copyright date on this one was 2019. Nothing really to look at on the back of the card. Greenlight makes some pretty good Jeep castings. This is one of them. Go ahead and take that off of here. Looks pretty good. Yeah, trucks and stuff are kind of the niche for Greenlight. Auto World's starting, of course, to make trucks now too, and they're doing a good job of them. So giving Greenlight a run for the money. Well, that's pretty cool. They got the high mount. That's a high mount stop, right? Like, so a little brake light above the spare tire in the back. That's interesting. And of course, this top is removable. It's plastic. Lens detail up front for headlights. Painted detail in the back. The spare is a really cool thing, though. Number 638 down here. The copyright date on the casting is 2014, and it's tooling number GL082. Hood does not open on this model. But definitely a pretty cool model. Not a super fan of like the graphics on it. Probably would rather have like a more basic one, but it's pretty good. Let's see. Next, let's do a couple of lifted trucks. Let's start with this one right here. 1969 Chevy K10. This is from Barrett Jackson Series 4. There's a little look at the card art there. There you go. So this series just came out not too long ago. Let's go ahead and peek at the car. It's kind of interesting that they decided to finally lift this casting. I think this might be the first release of it lifted. They did what they kind of standardly do. And I don't know that it turned out super great on this. What they do is they add this little like lift kit thing to the bottom. So they have those extra holes there. Number 1611, by the way, I might as well look at that. So the tooling number is 35. It's an older tooling. Copyright date 2009. This is Chevy Cheyenne. But unfortunately, like I don't think the wheels really line up right under the wheel well like they should. This one does not have an opening hood. The casting has always looked like it had an opening hood, but it doesn't. It just looks like this axle's moved forward a little bit more than it should. It should be like right underneath the wheel well, but it's like pushed forward a little bit. So it looks okay. It's not bad, but I mean, maybe it should have just left this casting alone. I don't know. It's a nice casting, though. The Chevy Cheyenne pickup. Not bad. It doesn't look bad like this. The bed looks to be on pretty straight, so that's a bonus. Sometimes you get a crooked bed attached to this. They put out a ton of these different variations of this truck. This is just the first one, I believe, the first one that's been lifted so far. First release of it lifted, and it looks all right. The next one we got is this 1987 GMC High Sierra, which is really cool. This is their square body GMC All-Terrain Series 9. Not much to look at in the back of the card. This is a recent release. And same kind of style with the lift on this one. Number 1620. What's the tooling number? That is tough to see. It's like 130 something, maybe. Maybe 150. I gotta pull it off camera real quick just to take a look. 157, I think, is what it says. It's hard to read on a black base. This thing looks pretty awesome, though. The bed's a little crooked. A little bit. This one's got the trailer hitch on the back. I don't know if I can fix that bed or not. There's GMC in the front there. It sits a little crooked as well. Not bad, but again, to get this plastic little lift kit on here. Lifted suspension. This one have an opening hood. I'm trying to get the hood open. And it does not. It just looks like the hood opens, and it doesn't. I don't know if it opens on some of the models, but not on this one. It definitely doesn't open on this one, even though they got a nice defined hood line there. Unless it's just totally jammed, but yeah, it really does not seem to open. Pretty cool truck, though. Not too bad. I don't know. The stance is a little weird with it being... the bed being a little bit crooked, I think, and then it doesn't sit quite even. Still a pretty cool truck, though. Definitely kind of cool. All right, so there it is. And let's see here. Next, let's get a look at another truck. 2019 Ford F-350 Lariat in the Dually Drivers series. This one came out, I think, just last year. Nothing really to look at on the card. I'm gonna pull it out. These trucks are pretty cool. So they're huge, as they should be. Big F-350s. And this is kind of Greenlight's. This is really Greenlight's niche, making these 1/64 scale gigantic trucks. This thing is pretty awesome. So you get lens detail up front for the headlights, painted detail in the back, nice side mirrors, plastic side mirrors, very nicely detailed, and of course dualies, and a plastic base, which is totally fine that this is a plastic base because there's a lot of casting going on. So tooling number 136. 6640 is like the serial number for this particular one right here. Pretty awesome, man. This is actually really sweet. This one rolls great. Rides straight. That is a really cool truck in my opinion. No opening hood or anything like that. No opening tailgate. Really doesn't really need it. It just is a nice replica of this very large truck. So very, very cool. Just look at this truck compared to this one. About the same ride height, or the same height, but this one's massively longer. Really, really cool. All right, so there is that. We got 4 more to go. Let's see here. Let's do this one. GMC Vandura. This is a hobby exclusive. Looks pretty awesome. There it is. Not much to look at on the card, really, but decent presentation. Oh, you are a banner. Why read that? Why get a GMC? Well, because look at this thing. Of course, this is the casting that they did that originated as being put out as the. Oh my gosh. The A-Team. Well, I don't know why that took me forever to think of. The A-Team van. And we've seen it a bunch of times since. This is number 157 on the bottom. Low number. Not that that really matters. And tooling number looks like it's like a 133. Pretty cool. This is probably one of the nicest versions of this van. The graphics on it are definitely appropriate for it. It's a really nice tooling. So far, Greenlight does the best full-size vans in 1/64 scale of any brand. It would be interesting if Auto World decided to put out some vans. I mean, they would undoubtedly be very popular if they did. So they should maybe think about it. But Greenlight does a great job on these vans. So pretty awesome. Definitely digging this one. That's a fantastic one. Let's see here. What should we look at next? Let's look at this one. Good old 1989 Chevrolet Caprice. This is Wisconsin State Patrol, my home state, celebrating the 80th anniversary. It's the Capitol building there in Madison, Wisconsin. State Patrol. If you want to look on the back, if that's something you want to read, go ahead and pause it. Give it a read. This just came out as well. The casting is relatively new. 5400 we got on the base there. GL 169 is the tooling. And pretty awesome version of this State Trooper car. Quite good in my opinion. I love this This rectangular look of the 80s, man. Super cool. Caprice classic. Light bar on top, of course. State Patrol. State Patrol actually still has the same livery, basically, nowadays as they did back when this car wasn't been out. Really cool. State Trooper, Statey. That's actually a really nice one, and this one's quality control wise. This one is very nice. So the bow ties are like right in the middle of the wheels. Maybe a little bit off on this one over here, but very, very close. This is a good version of this car for sure. Definitely digging that. All right, we got 2 more to go. Let's see here. Let's do this one from Mecum Auctions again. This is a 1972 Checker Marathon. Pretty sweet to get this one. I think this is the only release so far that this has not been put out as a taxi cab. This particular one sold in Chicago for $10,450. If you want to read about it, be my guest. And I like this one quite a bit. And there it is. This is a nice casting. Number 1547, tooling number, looks like 110. Which seems crazy. That's that low of a tooling number. And I'm guessing they assigned the tooling numbers. I've talked about this before, but I'm guessing they assigned the tooling numbers when they originally get the licensing for the casting. Wait a minute. Huh? Is that just not in there? Well, that's just fantastic. You guys didn't see that fall out, did you? It's missing the grill piece completely. That sucks. So there's good old Greenlight quality control. Here's a car without a front grill, which really sort of defines the way that this car looks. And I'm guessing it was never put in there. So, yeah, because it's not rolling around in the package. And unless I dropped it on the ground, it was just not in there. I'll have to review the footage when I'm done. But that is disappointing. That sucks. Selling useless cars. This thing's pretty much junk now to me. I mean, what am I going to do with it? You can't take pictures of it. I mean, you can display it on the side and whatever, I guess, but that's pretty much junk to me without that. That's really too bad. So if I wanted this car again, I'd have to replace it, but I'm irritated with that enough that I probably will never replace it. I wonder if Greenlight would send me a grill. Probably not. All right. Next is 1977 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, the Fire Am. This thing is pretty sweet. One of my favorite Greenlight castings. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. It's an older one. Oh, if you want to look at that. There you go. The Fire Am. So. $22.85 GLO 45. It's an older Greenlight tooling. This one looks great. Love the graphic on there. These are notorious for having some leaning issues because the axles, and this one's got it. I mean, it's definitely got the same old leaning issue that they haven't fixed. Now I'm just mad, right? Because of that last car. Still leaning issues that they have not fixed with this casting, where they drill the holes or whatever they do, cast the holes, I'm not really sure, where the axle goes through the base. And it's not straight through. It ends up somehow going at an angle, which causes the body to ride higher on this side and lower on this side. It's always this same thing. So like you can grab any of these, they're leaning, and they're leaning like that. Which is just stupid. Like, fix that problem. Right? I mean, I know these cars aren't that expensive, like being like $6 or whatever. The price of a Hot Wheels car culture, car, and it's supposed to be a premium diecast for that price. Not that Hot Wheels isn't premium, but this is just really supposed to be more of a replica of a car. The hood opens on this one too. I'm just not even going to bother because it probably won't go back down straight. Whatever. I still like it. It's not one of the worst leans that I've had. Some of them are real bad, and I've been able to fix them from time to time. Maybe this one will be worth fixing. Maybe it won't be. You can do it without drilling them apart. It's just it's irritating to have to do that. You basically have to take the axle out, and you have to modify the hole that the axle goes through. It's a surgical procedure. If done correctly, though, this thing will. Basically, all you can do is lower this side, so this side will be as low as that side. And it's a little bit difficult to do, but it's possible to do. Just a matter of whether or not it's worth it. And for this one, it probably isn't. The problem is, this ain't a big deal when you're just looking at the car here, maybe. If you go to take pictures of this car, you have to take pictures of it in such a way, if you're trying to present it, that it doesn't show off that lean. And it's kind of hard to do. You end up taking pictures of it basically from one side the whole time. So this would probably be the side I picked. The lower side looks a little bit better than that side, right? So, all right, so that's going to be it for this episode. What I think was my favorite is actually probably this first one. It's just kind of a cool car, really cool. The State Trooper is really nice from a quality standpoint. It is a lucky one. We'll call it lucky. And this one's pretty good too. This one's actually a nice surprise because I wouldn't think I was going to be that into it, but it's actually pretty darn sweet. This is the biggest disappointment. It is actually super irritating. I hope it bounced out somewhere, but it would be just sitting right here because I didn't open it before. So that is too bad. All right, guys. Thank you guys very much for watching. Please check out my other 10 Car Tuesday episodes and enjoy the rest of your day.